everyone, I'm Nate and welcome to the channel. Today I have the privilege of reviewing the signature yo-yo of Bryan Cosky representing Static Unresponsive company. Here is the Wave. Let's get into the Wave. All right, so if you don't know Bryan, he's kind of an OG. He came back into yo-yo about 2020, so not too long ago, and soon after that he kind of connected with Static and has been repping them since then, and pretty much since that point, pretty soon on after that, he and Static started talking, Aaron, started talking about a signature yo-yo, and that's what we have here, the Wave. Very much fits within that nostalgic shape that a lot of Static represents. Bryan was on Anti-Yo back in the day, so if you are fairly new to yo-yo and you don't know much about the history, that's kind of an OG company, and Bryan himself is kind of an OG as well. And so he was, you know, on the World Yo-Yo Contest stage and all those kind of things, and sort of, put a pause to it as he became an adult, probably, as many of us did, and then kind of come back to it. Very much falls in line with Static's run of yo-yos. So, you know, they have a lot of nostalgic sort of shapes, a little, more organic, right? More slimline yo-yos, the parlay, and as well as the pseudo. This very much fits within that wheelhouse, very much similar to that, where it's simple design, right? But like a nostalgic shape, but with modern sort of precision. The metal we have here is 7068. I love this sort of OD green. It looks great. Again, very simple design here. It has sort of a high wall, but it's angled out high wall, so it's gonna be still good for rejections, but it's also gonna be everything you want there for regens and things like that, which, as if you've been watching my channel for long enough, you know that's a lot of the tricks I gravitate to. So immediately when I saw this shape, I was like, yep, this is gonna be a favorite of mine. So yeah, very much a lot like the parlay, a lot like the pseudo in that sort of approach to design. And as far as like the name, the Wave, it has kind of a lot of different, it doesn't kind of cling to just one precision sort of name. Let me read you what he said. He says this: why Wave? Well, I don't really have a straight answer. It could be a homage to the ocean I grew up near, or the sound waves that make up music, or the vaporwave aesthetic Aaron and I enjoy so much. Maybe it's because Wave can appear uncomplicated but still hide power beneath their surface. I really like that approach to design, where it's simple, right? But it's like subtle. Don't underestimate it, right? So you're gonna have enough power, right? You're gonna have enough spin times. I know that from the prototype to this, they did add a little bit more of stability to the rims. So you're gonna get a little bit more weight to the rims. So you're gonna have a little bit more stability. So those kind of things in that sort of modern design approach, right, are gonna be there, right? It's still gonna get the job done, right? But it's gonna have that sort of mid-2000s feel, which I like that a lot. So, all right, let's go ahead and actually play it, see how it plays on the string. Let's go. All right, welcome back to the on the string section with the Wave, signature yo-yo of Bryan Cosky and Static Unresponsive yo-yos. All right, yeah. Man, it's one of those yo-yos that I don't know if like it was like instant love. It kind of took time to grow on me, but I knew that I was gonna like it. Part of that might have been the pads just a little bit, okay? They did take about 30 minutes or so to break in, right? So I feel like after the first day I've had this, and I've had this for about a week, a little bit more maybe. Yeah, about a week. So I've had plenty of playtime with it. It has definitely grown on me, and I really do like the shape. Now, of course, you're gonna expect, right, that on the catch, it's gonna be really comfortable. It is that slimmer line, right? It's organic. It's certainly gonna be comfortable on a catch. It has a lot of that comfortable, just feels like a glove in the hand. I really do like the gap design here. It has that sort of mimicked high wall, right? So for rejections and things like that, the gap is gonna be exactly what you want, but it's also gonna be really good for regens, very controlled. I really like that a lot. Definitely going to be regenning this yo-yo a lot when I play it. I like that feel. I like the idea of kind of just flowing from one trick to another. I feel like regens are something that if you haven't messed around with a lot, I feel like they really help with flow, right? Because it just kind of, again, has that continual motion from one movement, one element to another. And learning how to control regens, I think, is a really good starting point, I think, for flow. But yeah, I really do like the design here. Again, it's kind of understated, right? The design's really simple, and you're like, okay, maybe it's not going to have the longest stability and longest spin times, but man, I'm telling you what, it has quite a bit of power for what it is. You know, nothing's over exaggerated as far as like, you know, width and diameter and all that stuff, right? So you wouldn't think really it's going to have a crazy amount of spin times, but it does the job, and it certainly has quite a bit of power coming out the gate. It doesn't necessarily have a lighter feel or a heavier feel. It's kind of really nice in between as far as how it feels on the string. Really good pacing, right? I can land just one beef hook. Oh my gosh. Nope, not today. Okay, it's gonna be one of those days. It's a little windy out here today. Let's talk about some of the standard tricks here. Yeah, the gap's not going to be insane, right, as far as performance. Now, I am throwing a thicker string. I don't know, maybe perhaps a thinner string would do okay, but I don't know. I'm fine with this. I've not had really any issues of snagging or anything like that in the gap. But it's not going to have like the widest, most performance gap in the first place, right? That is not what it's going for. But it does the job again, right? It's wide enough that you can still feel confident with those things, right? Horizontal is not going to be its thing either, right? It's definitely not going to feel like anything that throws off the plane. So it's really not meant for, hey, pick this up and compete with this. If you're kind of throwing those kind of tricks, okay? So if you're throwing modern, like what they expect to see on the stage kind of tricks, okay? I would love to see a lot of those like just smooth tricks come back, right? Not so that we're just kind of just point. A lot of speed combos. I don't know. I just feel like there's something to watching a routine that it just feels like fun. It feels like the player's really having fun. You know, when I watch somebody like Bryan YoYo, right? I just know that he's having fun. Like, I know the tricks that he's playing, he's just grooving with, right? And I don't know, I feel like we've lost a little bit of that, right, with a lot of newer players coming into the game, where it's like, I'm just kind of trying to push the limits as much as I can and be fast and be technical, and those things are great. I think there's a space for that. But I think there's something to kind of bringing back what yo-yo is meant to be, right? And I feel like a lot of the tricks that are more the smooth, connected, flowy sort of tricks tend to be ones that are just a little bit more enjoyable. And for me, again, personally, and my bias is that I enjoy watching those tricks, not just playing those tricks more as well. So that's my 2 cents. So I love somebody like Bryan's play. If you don't follow him on Instagram, I'll have a link in his in my description here. Oh well. It is way hotter than out here than I thought it was going to be. It is like November, so like you would think, oh yeah, no, in central Ohio it's going to be cold, but it is not. And it's actually really nice out today, so I'm actually kind of starting to sweat, so my fingers are starting to clam up a little bit on the string. But man, I really do like the feel of this yo-yo. It certainly has that sort of nostalgic feel, right? It looks nostalgic, but it also feels that way on the string. It's nothing that's like pushing anything specifically, right? And I feel like it's just a fun yo-yo, right? Fun is kind of the focus here, right? It is a toy, right? And so if you're not having fun with the yo-yos you're playing, you probably should just get a yo-yo like this. That's really gonna just remind you that it's a toy, and that's something that should just be played. I feel like when you have a fun yo-yo, you're just gonna play it longer. Definitely check it out if you're looking for a fun yo-yo that has a little bit of that nostalgic kickback, but also feels modern at the same time, and definitely has had so much thought and process put into it from people who have been around for a long time. Definitely check out the Wave from Static and Bryan Cosky. All right, until the next one, later.